Good morning, good evening, or good riddance. Welcome to the Spire RIFFCAST, where we'll be discussing all things metal, non-metal, and every point in between. With this podcast, we hope to lift the veil on our world in metal music and dig into some topics we've wanted to share with all of you. This will be informal, so please take our content with a grain of salt and a sense of humor. Right now, you're listening to the RIFFCAST, episode 18. I'm guitarist Pat Young, and I'm here with drummer of jazz funk group Dynamo from Tennessee, Nate Felty. Let's riff.
What's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
It's thanks for having yourself here because second time being on it, but you just
Right.
texted me saying you were going to be in town for the weekend, and I said I thought I was going to have to do the podcast by myself, just sitting there talking to myself,
Right.
and I listened to Bill Burr's podcast.
That's great.
And I don't want to just be sitting there in my underwear laughing at my own jokes.
Yes, you do. I'm sorry that I'm here, man.
I do that anyways, but there's usually
leave.
there's not a microphone in front of me.
Fair.
So I'm glad that you're here. And at your last show, I ended up giving you the record.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys crushed it.
Thanks, man.
I love what you did with just because you guys play Dinosaur Barbecue up here in Syracuse quite often now, because the first time you played up here, and you guys are all hitting your hometowns when you first started touring, and every time you play here now, you get like more of a following. It's not just that bar crowd.
Yeah, it's not like just like the 50 and over, generic midweek crowd. Just I'm here to see the blues, and hopefully that there's blues tonight.
Like Jerace's dad. Yeah, Drace is here.
No, it was nice. It's always incredibly overwhelming to just kind of show up in town and see, just see so many friends at these shows, because I'm never one for self promotion, and I just don't plug. I suck at that.
No,
I
don't.
know. You know I do. I suck at that.
I missed you last time you guys came
I just
here.
like a thief in the night, man. I just show up and I'm gonna play. I'll see you later. But it was great to be back, and it's always, man. Yeah. Thanks again for coming out too. I'm like,
and you. It's not just your friends that show up, man. There's people.
Totally.
People there that every time I come out and see you guys, there's more and more people, and there's
Right.
people that I've never seen before at the show, and I know they're there for you guys. I can see it. They're not there for Dinosaur Barbecue. They grab a drink. Right. They don't even sit down and eat. Right. They're there for the show itself.
It's awesome.
And you guys play there so often that you have to change your set around, and that's incredible. That you guys have these magical improvisational moments on stage. I don't even know what the hell you guys did to, is it Pride?
Yeah.
Or the
probably.
section in there where
Probably Pride.
Oh my God, the middle section, it was a completely different song, and that's what people, that's what people want to see. At least that's what I wanted to see was holy shit, you want to see something you didn't know you were going to see.
Right.
And if they saw it the last time, it wouldn't be as impressive. But you guys that's the improv part of it.
Well, that's kind of the beauty of being in a 9-piece improvisational group, because there's so many people. Everybody in the band can do something different at any given night, at any given time, and that's one of the things I enjoy the most about when I'm playing with the band, because I'll hear somebody do something different every night, and it'll always surprise me. I'm always surprised by the other 8 dudes in the band. We'll play a song and I'll hear somebody do something, whether it's a reharmonization or a drum fill or a horn lick or something. Just something will change every night, and it's always just one of those oh damn, really, wow.
I can
one of those
tell by
moments,
how you guys look at each other and laugh, or with your how you look at each other. That's how I know that you guys are okay, you're trying to read it. You're trying to read it out. Or if you do something, you guys probably...
It's like a game every night.
It's
trying to see who's, it's like an intense game of something. And I can't even compare it really, but just everybody's just doing something tricky every night.
Yeah, and my question is well, first off, the tour is over, right? So
Yes.
I can burn something.
Burn something.
The Star Wars thing.
Oh,
that was
yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah, man.
It was
man.
just it had this groove. It was
Right.
It kept grooving and it got
Right.
it right in
You
the
hear
pocket.
the, like-
Don't keyboard player smiles. Got it boom 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 down.
Man,
Oh, it was awesome. He
yeah,
did the whole thing. He did the
Oh,
whole.
yeah.
I'm like,
All
oh,
of
that's
it.
funny. Oh shit, he's doing the whole thing.
All right, when are you done? No, yeah.
Oh, I loved it.
That was he does that. Everybody does that. They'll throw something new.
Was that
Just-
planned?
That was not planned. No.
God damn, dude.
It's just funny because like we'll look at each other and the moments where somebody kind of has the melody or something by themselves, like in that song, for example, when Blaylock, our synth player, when he had that melody by himself, he usually does something weird with it. But it always surprises you in like the best way. It's never like, oh man, come on, like what else? Stop dicking around. But it's actually like something really hip. He's always just like using, whether it be quoting like Star Wars or just like a different like harmony or just the way that he plays it. There's always something really cool about it, and that goes with everybody else in the band. So it's like, yeah, it always almost knocks me on my ass whenever I'm playing. Somebody just surprises me with something awesome every night.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was a fun show. Syracuse is all. I mean, man, it's one thing to like go back to your hometown, but just like I don't know, it just means a lot when you see so many unfamiliar faces there.
Yeah, now
as well
now
as
it
like
just,
your best friends.
Now it happens. You're at a point now because how many times you played Dino? Dozen?
Oh,
Or
geez.
no, not a dozen.
Probably
half dozen.
like
Half
yeah,
dozen.
probably 4 or 5. Yeah.
Yeah. So every time you play Dino, now you're at the point that I'm noticing is that now it happens to be your hometown.
Right.
It's not like, oh, I'm playing my hometown. Come
We-
out like friends
right.
and family, all that. No, now
Right. It's
now you
Dynamo.
guys like kill at that place.
Yeah.
So now it happens to be your
Right.
hometown.
No, it's really
Which is the goal, right? That's the point.
yeah. That's kind of the beauty of we always. I mean, it's not just me just because I'm from Syracuse. Like there's the whole band kind of talks about that town being like, hey, oh, stoked to go back to Syracuse again. Like that's always like it's always a party whenever we play there. It's it's a lot of fun, and it's I don't know. It definitely feels more like home than most other places I can think of besides obviously Nashville, where we're based. But like, yeah, that's just one of those towns, one of those dates that I kind of just like mentally circle and be like, all right, this will be cool,
I should text
But-
Pat about it.
Yeah, I'll let Pat know. And I won't tell anybody else.
There you go. But you'll still get people.
Right? No, it's fun, man. It's always.
I
yeah,
gotta
it's-
staple flyers to human beings as they're walking down the street, and you're just like, "Hey, man,
Right.
oh yeah, by
Vote
the
for
way."
Donnelly. Yeah, man, no, it's yeah. We always talk about that too. Like, how can we promote ourselves? Because I mean, that's ultimately the goal of any band that wants to be successful. Is that's like one of the chief things that bands will talk about or should talk about. Honestly, if they don't, is just promoting, because you can have amazing musicians, amazing bands, and then nobody knows about them outside of like their 25 friends or whatever in their hometown. And we've seen that touring, like all over the place. Like, we were in Mississippi, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and there is, in my opinion, one of the tightest bands I've ever heard in my life. They're a bunch of friends. Like there's 6 of them. Yeah, 6-piece band called Friends Fly South. Do a plug for them. But man, they are the funkiest dudes, and they're so in tune with each other, and nobody knows about them. Like they don't tour, so that's probably part of the reason. But even still, like even in their own town, they'll get only a dozen people at their shows.
Right.
But
It's
they're just one of
tough,
those bands
man.
that just has
Like,
that.
My thing is, unless you're like some kind of prodigy and you got the whole package and you're on the fucking Voice. Shout
Right.
out to Ryan Quinn, by the way,
Yeah.
because he does have all that, and I've said it for a long time. When I was in the college days, I'm like, this guy has a voice. It's like glass. It's just
Yeah.
so smooth. I don't know. You probably don't follow like The Voice or anything. I don't either. But like now that he's on it, this guy I went to college with, Ryan Quinn. Holy shit, man! We did some like Sword of Truth shows with him and his bands, whatever he's doing. And he like I would do these stupid falsetto contests with the crowd. I go, okay, match the note. And the idea was you'd get to this obnoxious note, and all the crowd would do was laugh. But I had to be weary of it when Ryan Quinn was in the audience because that motherfucker would hit the notes, man. I'm like, oh, except Ryan Quinn because he's got that.
Two
shit.
Whitney Houstons at the gig.
I'm falsettoing, and this dude's actually hitting the note. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
I forgot where the fuck I was going with this, but like, oh yeah, unless you have the full package.
Sure.
My whole thing is, you know, people think if you play all these notes and all this great music, people will come, and the market is so saturated now with talent. Everybody, like, essentially, you practice hard enough, people can do that. There are so many people out there that can do that with technology and what we're exposed to, and like Skype lessons with all these like professional musicians, and like now professional musicians will like the VIP package will include like somebody will do like a lesson, like I've seen the Animals as Leaders drummer, like the older one, that Coperweiss guy,
what's his
Naveen or whatever, like Coperweiss, and he was giving lessons to people like during the. Like right before Doors, man. He was giving people lessons. So like with all of that exposure now and those musicians just being like musicians getting involved with it, people are better now. Right. And they like all the techniques are out there, all the books are out there, so people are better and the chops are there. Right. So if you play great music, that does not necessarily mean that people will come. If they happen to be there, that's great. And if they happen to tell a friend next time you come around a year later, maybe they'll come out. It doesn't like promotion,
translate. Man. Yeah, and we talk about that all the time. And man, like back to what I was saying about this band from Hattiesburg, like their drummer Josh Reynolds, one of my favorite drummers I've ever heard. He's incredible, and I chat with him, on occasion. Yesterday was his birthday. Actually, I chatted with him a little bit yesterday, but like. He always, he'll start talking about just like doing a clinic or something. He's like, man, I'd love to like just travel and host a clinic or something. And I'm just looking at him like, bro, you could tour the country if people knew about you, and like that's what's so humbling, I think, about touring, because you never know who you're going to run into. They could be, just in a tiny little town like that. And nobody knows about them, but you hear them play, and you're like, "Where the hell did this come from?" Right. And you'll see that, like we've seen that everywhere. That's why, honestly, that's like one of my favorite parts about touring. You see that you meet so many great musicians and in such cool, you'd never expect to meet them in the places you meet them, and seeing a band like that just makes me want to help them, because they played the shit out of their music, and like you just want to see them perform. Like I'd love to see them come up to Syracuse or Nashville or anywhere else, really, for that matter. It's so like it's like what you were saying. Like promotion is a key element that like I feel like a lot of bands will falter over time. I mean, we've both probably experienced similar things with previous projects where promotion's just kind of always fallen short. Yep. And that's kind of why, for one reason, of however many, that it hasn't quite worked out. Like promotions, it's tricky to get your music out to people. It's a very overwhelming process. And I think people don't realize
to get it out
how many different ways
in the right way.
Are. Yeah. To do it the right way.
It's whatever your band needs. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like people have different styles of music, like different areas that it warrants a different area of promotion. Right. Some people like in metal, like the big thing is the lyric videos. Mm-hmm. And right now in our band, we're kind of torn, like down the middle. Right. Meaning one guy could go either way. It really is an even split between 5 people. Right. On it. It's strange. Like I don't know how I feel about it, because like anytime I see lyric videos, they're all done like. It'll be like this
the beach ball bouncing on the words and
that's
shit.
That's what I used to think lyric videos were, like karaoke style. No, these are like, have you seen them? Like these videos are like high definition, super graphic design work going into this, and it has the lyrics, and it's usually these bands. It's usually like the really high produced metal bands where like the drums are compressed the same and probably sample replaced and all that shit.
Right.
So it's all the same, like
Right. Real mechanical, yeah. Sure.
Bass drop, you know, and then you have the dumb lyrics they put on there. I am the end of the world, you know, something like apocalyptic and
right.
with a bunch of F words in it and shit.
Sure.
And they pay these people a lot of money to do these videos, or maybe one of the guys in the band knows how to do it.
Right.
And I don't know, maybe that is a good idea. Maybe it is, because you know, as much as I make fun of it,
right.
I also know that, like, I know
that translates.
those lyrics.
Some of that speaks to a lot of people, and it makes their audience grow. I mean, I'm gonna do a plug for our band leader Ryan Connors, Dynamo band leader. Our first album, he was basically like the video producer for it. He took all the footage from our first record, Live at Ocean Way, and had just gigabytes upon gigabytes on his hard drive, and just cut and spliced all that shit together himself, you know. So like, and not because like, you know, like he just wanted to do it himself, but like the importance of that got our music out to so many people, because it was a visual thing, you know, seeing us play these tunes live. Because to listen to an instrumental group without any like visual, like, you know, without a screen in front of you, like watching them play, just listening to them, for somebody who's not really into like the instrumental side of music, for example, or like even regardless, something that you're not like watching, just listening to, that is kind of like, I don't know, I don't want to use the word obsolete, but for younger audiences, they tend to gravitate towards like, you know, a video along with the music, like whether it be a music video or a live video or
because
something that you were just talking about, the lyric video.
That our generation isn't the generation of radio. Right. There was radio when our parents were growing up. There was radio, and then they were in the discovery of like television and, you know, all these channels now, and like that's what they would do. They would watch the cartoon or the talk show, and that was a better story told to them. So we are like, radio, okay, in my
Who
car.
needs a radio?
That's it. Like, radio in my car is how it goes. Or like if you're like on a job or something, like construction or whatever, like you turn on the radio.
Or it's like your 60-year-old
something.
bus driver in high school. It's just like the only thing he knows, you know, is country music radio or something.
Yeah, but you're doing like something's going on.
Right.
You're doing something, or you're going to somewhere.
Yeah, it's associated with.
You don't just sit down and stare at.
Right.
You know,
unless you're watching like Christmas Story or something.
Yeah, like Jim Gaffigan just staring at the radio in the 50s, like, oh, I can't wait until they invent the TV or whatever, you know.
That'll be the day.
Yeah.
No, it's strange, man. Like that was something that I just never crossed my mind. Even like, I'm gonna date myself, but like even like 10 years ago in high school. Like that never, like a music, like a video never crossed my mind. It was always just like if I get a new album, because I'd hear like a single, you know, and now it's just, you know, there's so much more with music, like associated with music, than there is just like listening to it, you know?
Yeah.
So, but because of that, because we've made those videos, it's, you know, we have something, and that's another thing too, to kind of like dovetail off of, you know, helping a band like expose themselves. When we're booking, you know, because we book everything ourselves still. When we book our shows, like a lot of the, you know, venue contacts want to see a visual thing. Like, hey, do you have a music video for us? Like something visual, just to see like kind of what you're all about. Or just
not a phone YouTube video of like legit, and you guys have legit shit now.
Well,
like,
thanks. Yeah, I mean,
you guys had like covers and shit.
Yeah,
that you did.
You've done a couple covers. Yeah, that we've done. Yeah,
was it that guy you were talking about?
Yeah, I mean,
that was the guy that like you're filming like live at Ocean Way. That was your first record, but then there was something separate than the
other records.
Find a Way record.
Yep. So besides that, we did several things, man. We covered. We did a cover of Suit and Tie, the Justin Timberlake tune.
Yeah. I saw that.
We did that
video.
Yeah, we did that Man, that was...
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
You know
we
you
did that
put the
in a
name
basement.
to the face.
You know, yeah.
Like, you're like, okay,
Right.
cool. There's the instrument they do. This is, like, how they play it.
Right,
like,
right,
this is
right,
what's
right.
going on. This is how much fun they're
Right.
having when they do it, you know?
Right. Or, like, look how stupid he looks when he plays
Look
the... But no, it's...
Look at
it's,
Felty. What a shark.
Yeah. It's hilarious, man, because, like, you know, some of those earlier videos, like, that suit and tie video was cut in our buddy Will Houchins' basement. And he had a couple of nice mics and some sound reinforcement, you know, in the form of, like, you know, a gobo, you know, those big, like, you know, I don't even know how to even describe them, like the size of, like, a fridge, but just, like, styrofoam with fabric, just something to, like, control the sound, you know,
Yeah.
just really, you know, really do it yourself kind of setup, you know. And we got good sounds, and, like, that video came out really well. We had a couple of our iPhones just, like, positioned in certain areas and, like, you know, put all the footage together, and it ended up looking like that. And so we look back and we're like, damn, I can't believe that came out that well, you know. And to see where that has got, like, from where we've evolved from then to now, you know, it really is, like, it's special, you know, because you see the footage now and, like, you know, where we kind of want to go with it. And, like, it's great to have those videos for the musical value, you know, because, like, it just shows that we do covers and whatnot, and, like, we arrange them a certain way. But the videos now, like, it just goes to show, like, you know, just a visual aspect of your music can help you so many ways, however legit it looks, you know. Like, it's just,
It helps
it helps
when
you
it's
grow.
legit.
Yeah. I mean, and it's gotten more legit as we've, you know, kind of progressed over time, which kind of naturally, if you bust your ass at something, you should, I would hope, get better at it, you know, to some degree. But, like, you know, that's a good example. I mean, that making that video gave us an opportunity to play in certain certain venues that we never would have gotten the chance to play at.
Right.
But, you know, you see it where it's grown now, and we'll look back and kind of watch it and be like, damn, I can't believe that was, you know, like, such a coveted thing, you know. And now we kind of see it as, like, you know, just like an example of growth, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyways, I'm rambling now a little bit myself now, but, like, that's just,
No,
you know,
that's it.
just rambling on how important video
it is important.
footage is.
That's an important area of promotion
Right.
for you, for people to for seeing is believing.
Yep. Yeah.
And with us, you know, promo has been definitely a struggle to get to where we were.
Sure.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's truly been a struggle. Like, and what really, and I actually posted, and I never post on Facebook. I'm on Facebook all the goddamn time, and it's for the band.
Right.
I don't
right,
post.
Not for your
I
own,
have all
yeah.
these outdated pictures and
Right.
shit. I don't post anything, and I posted something the other day that was like, because we had our album release show this past weekend.
Hell yeah.
And I posted something the other day about the, like, all of the, like, and this has been, like, built up.
Right.
Is that anytime we have shows and stuff, and, like, every now and then we'll post something and we boost the post because, you know,
Yeah.
Facebook's a whore and they take money if you actually want to get your post out.
Yep. That's
So I posted something, like, every now and then someone will be like, Spire's still a thing? Or, like, they'll say that shit.
right.
And
Just kind of sit there and be like,
and you're like, yeah, it's still a thing, man. Like, who
Right.
are you?
What the hell,
Or, like,
yeah.
or it'll be people from that, like, we went to high school with, and I posted something on Facebook about it. It was like a biblical-esque kind of thing, like
Right.
a letter from Pat to the high schoolers.
Right,
you know,
right.
the word of the riff.
Yep.
Thanks be to metal.
The
That's like what
fourth
I said.
chapter, beginning at the third verse.
Yeah, and I wrote something,
Praise.
a really long, thought-out message about it, like straight from the heart. But I wrote it in 2 seconds because it was so built up.
Right.
Where I was just like,
Trying to get it out.
you guys, all you do is you say like everybody likes. I don't get it. Like they like the post, and I know
What
this
does
is
it
this
mean,
is
though?
coming off like blunt and like
Oh, no.
and awful, but
I
like
think I
this is our
agree.
fucking podcast.
Right.
I want to say what I want to say.
Right.
Like, and these people aren't going to hear it because they're not going to listen all the way up. How many minutes are we in?
6,
24
probably.
minutes in. But they're not going to listen this far in. They're going to be like, done. Oh, you have a podcast. That's cool.
Right.
You know, that's what they're going to say.
Right.
Those kinds of people that will talk about the show, or will talk about our campaign, or, you know, and everyone else has been great. The people have donated all this shit. Like, this doesn't apply to you guys. You guys are fucking awesome. But these are the people that, like, over and over again, you still see their names on there. They like your comments, and it gives you hope. You know, they like your comments. You're like, oh, I remember you from high school, from the old days when we were starting out.
Right.
Or they'll actually say something like, I'm so glad you guys, you know, I saw your flyer up in blah 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 the other day.
Right.
Like, oh, cool. I'm glad you guys are still doing your thing or whatever. And it's like, cool. But you don't come out to the show like the last time.
They acknowledge that you just like exist, but it's just like, oh yeah, and then piss off. You know, there's like no follow through.
I just don't know. It's like it's almost like you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and maybe it wasn't. Maybe it's not your thing, but like that would have been somebody that have like came out to like all the shows back in high school, and when we played the Camillus Town Shop and all that shit, and we played this Fairmount Church, we got banned from. Like they thought we were like devil worshippers or something. I don't know. It's really funny. But they're dumb. Like don't think you're appealing to the youth by putting metal shows that like invoke fighting and shit like at your at your church, a place of worship. Like come on. But we got banned from that shit. Right. And all those fun times, and those people were so heavily a part of it. Right. And we were acquainted with them, and we hung out with them and whatever, and they were so amped up about us, and we sucked back then. But that was like we did, we fucking sucked. But that was part of the process. So they were part of the process, and I think that they want. It's like I don't know what part of me, like why I want so badly for them to come out and like. Mm-hmm. It's almost like I want like approval from it, you know, and I don't give a fuck in the end, you know. It's weird even saying it now, but it for me it makes it for some reason I want that like that
value it.
that part of the nostalgia,
though.
to be real in present day, and to like come back and be like you know
man.
like. Fuck, dude! Like I just saw this show, and like it's like I want to show them.
That's the thing. Yeah,
that we're serious. You don't have to come to another show again. Like I just want to show you that, like, this is how far we've come. Like, you're
I'm not just dicking around in my like bedroom, you know, for 10 years for nothing. You know, it's like you're actually working towards something. You know, like I feel the same way. That's kind of what Like I'm always, I love coming back to Syracuse, obviously, but I just love reconnecting with people I haven't seen since the days of like the Jewish Community Center, over in
the Jewish Community
over
Center.
in East Syracuse. I mean, like that, like those are the, that's the kind of stuff that makes me like, kind of really value friendships and, just music and friendships in general. Like you haven't played a show and like they haven't seen me play a show in like 5 or 6 years. And for some reason they thought I was
shit their pants if they saw you play now.
It's just like funny because like for some reason they thought that like it was awesome, 8-9 years ago, and they just
and that's what I mean. They're like, "Oh, dude, you guys are awesome." I'm like, "No, we weren't,
no, man.
Come out now."
Yeah,
no, we were not. We sucked. Come out now.
Get up on stage and tell me that. Tell all these people what you know.
Dude, I was hustling Pokemon cards in parallel with being in a metal band that I am still in.
Right.
Come on, man.
Dude, yeah, it is really like, it's really astounding to me, like. I think it's just something, as musicians that have always like kind of plugged away at our craft, just trying to get better and not really like ever looking in the past and just trying to work towards the future with writing music and whatnot. Like you never want to, at least for me personally, I never want to go back and listen to myself from like years and years ago. 'Cause I've like, I'm already working towards what I don't like about my playing, you know what I mean? Like I like some people that really appreciated coming out and watching shows of mine from 10 years ago. That's what pisses me off the most when they like will like a status or something.
Yeah, and you're like, dude.
Yeah, like first of all, I haven't seen you in 7 years.
I don't even know who you are anymore because the person that you saw play on stage, I don't know that guy anymore. So I don't know who I was.
No one should ever know
like
the 16-year-old me, ever.
Yeah. Dude, you were learning how to drum better, like, alongside learning how to drive better.
Right.
Well, even though you probably started learning how to drive when you were like 8.
Well, I just off-road better.
Yeah, you off-roader. You would show up to school in a fucking... What was it, a Jeep Wrangler that had monster
Cherokee.
truck wheels?
Oh, yeah. Those were the days, man.
And it got how many miles to a gallon? 4, which was the distance
0.4?
from school to your house.
Yeah.
To fill up on the way.
But yeah, like you think about those days, man. It's like, it's amazing the people that like will stay in touch via social media. I haven't talked to in like 10 years.
Oh, you see them in Wegmans and they just like
they walk right
they
by
hide
or something.
behind the fucking banana rack.
Right. It's like they don't even want to talk to. But like you see them though, or not see them, but you read, like, oh, they liked your status or something. Oh, awesome. But what does it mean? Like if you're not going to come out and catch a show or something,
Exactly.
then it's like, what the hell are you doing? Like
that same person.
It's just frustrating.
That same person, and at the end of the day, you don't give a fuck. But it's still confusing, and you want to ask them. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like that road rage where you want to follow them home and be like, "Why did you do that?"
Right.
It's like you want to know why. It's like, don't like it. And I've said that before. I've been like, I say like, and I put like the little, the quotes on it because it's like, come on, guys,
Right.
And then I feel like it's too much. Like I need to stop because now I'm letting that. All the people that like us read it, and it's funny because like I posted that post and like people liked it. I didn't even check who it was, but like it's all the people that support us, man. And at the end of the day, I gotta just say stop, dude. Like, because like then the stream of comments is like, oh, I'm coming. Or I bought one.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like those people are like, yeah, dude, it fucking rocks, man. Can't wait to see it at the show.
Right.
And then I'm like, why did I post that? Like,
reaffirming.
fuck those people. Yeah. These are the guys. These are the guys and girls that matter, man. Like the people that are really, truly supportive of us.
Right.
But yeah, so dude, that brings me to the release show. I gotta plug our shit a little bit, man.
Dude, please do. That record sounds incredible.
The release show surprised the hell out of me. We had a lot of things. In a good way? Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We had a lot of things like in planning it, in months before the show that like fell through. Like there were a lot of issues and it like beyond our control, and they were understandable. And but it was just for me, it was just like tough because I was like selfishly, I was just like, oh man, like what can I do? I want to make this work as best as possible, and like we were gonna have tickets for it because I believe again promo like people flake, so you want to, or they just forget, so because even though it's number one on my priority list, it's not even somebody that wants to go. It's not generally number one on their priority list. They got shit in their lives, It's a show's a show, and if they come out, they have fun. But
for sure,
if they miss it, I'll catch the next one. So that's kind of how it is. So tickets ensure that they come out. Like they're gonna have it in their wallet, or they're gonna have it on their dresser or something. Their chances are they're gonna go.
Right.
But the tickets fell through, so it ended up, and we didn't get our show announced. Again, reasons beyond our control. We didn't get it announced on like all the social media stuff for like the Lost Horizon.
Oh damn!
Until late in the game, and some of the info wasn't correct, and like it wasn't updated how I wanted. I'm like, fuck, man, like Murphy's Law, dude.
Right.
And so I'm being a flyer whore. I'm just putting them up all over the place.
Yeah,
and
man.
One of the other bands was like, dude, I'm in Oswego, man. Like, give me a bunch of flyers. Like, they were great about it. And so we really tried to blow this thing up.
Right.
And what ended up happening, and then Scott Dixon, the guy who, like I was going through with the booking the show and everything. The week of, and he had been playing our shit like all month.
Dixon's the man.
Dixon is the man, and he had me like do a 95X drop, like come in there and do like one of those like 3-minute plugs, and I'm like, I'm stressing like the night before. Kristen's like, go to bed, go to bed, man. Like, dude, what are you doing, stressing out? Like you, and I'm like up there, like, oh, he wants to talk about the album, so I gotta really investigate like the lyrics and like say like,
man.
What did this mean? I really want to sound articulate, and not fumble over my fucking words like I do on this thing. And she's just like, come to bed, and so I'm like, I have it perfect. Like the next day, I'm like rattling off in my head, like just kind of working at my job, but like thinking about this shit the whole time. I go in there, and Dixon just goes, "All right, this is going to be really painless." I'm like, I feel like I'm at the doctor's office. He's like, it's going to be really painless,
Drop
man.
your pants.
He's like, it's corporate bullshit. I got to do like 3 minutes. That's it. Like, and I'm like, okay. And he just goes, so I'm going to lead you with everything. It's going to be really, really easy stuff. Like, well, you got an album. What do you think? And I'm like, fuck. I'm like, he's like,
ultimate blue balls.
Yeah. So like, fuck, man. Like, this is great, but I studied for an exam.
Dude, it's like the high school days, man.
I studied for an exam
never know
that
what
the
hell you're
teacher
gonna get.
said, you're all stupid, and
Right.
here are the answers. Let's just go over it as a class.
Right.
And I'm like, fuck. But it was a great plug. It was awesome. Yeah. It was on the locals only thing, and so I think that helped.
Totally, man.
And it wasn't that, like, it's our album release show, but it's also Ebony Sorrow. I don't know if you're familiar with Ebony Sorrow. They're a black metal band from Syracuse, and they've been around for 15 years, and we've been around for 14 years.
Right.
So
Like
we were pitching it like we were like the younger brother.
Damn.
And it's their 15th anniversary show. Like when we asked them to do this show, we're like, I want this. This is right around the timeline that John Bukowski, the singer and guitarist, that's when, like, he wanted to do a 15th anniversary show in March. So I'm like, damn. Okay, can we?
It's beautiful.
Can we, instead of compete with this, can we make this a thing?
Right. Hop on, yeah.
And he was totally cool with it. And
that's awesome.
He got one of his buddies' bands to play, Infernal Thorn, and I got Richie McGee's band Stone Thrower to play.
Yeah.
And then Nil Existence, from Moravia, or like the Auburn area. I got them to play, and they're tech death. Mm-hmm. So that was fucking awesome. So they opened the show, but they're not really an opener.
Sure.
No band was an opener. And but it was awesome. Ebony Sorrow, 15th anniversary, and our album release together made like
probably a killer show, man.
It was insane, dude. Like
the
bill itself, like, yes, it was our album release, but it was the bill. Anyone that I spoke to, they're like, "Oh, dude, all the like." Anytime I named a band, they'd be like, "Fuck yeah, dude, I'll be there." Like the combination of all those bands,
right? And honestly, man, I feel like Dixon's simplification may have proved helpful, because sometimes people just don't have, flipping through the radio or something, they might not have,
I know,
like the mental capacity to listen about.
I didn't know what to expect,
that kind of
though.
Thing,
So I'm expecting to
Quick
go in
just
depth,
help him out,
And he knows exactly how to do it.
Right.
Like he knows the formula.
Plays the game. Yeah.
He knows exactly what people need to hear.
Mm-hmm.
What's important and what's enticing to them for a length of time. So he knows, and we ended up having 168 paid.
Holy shit.
Through the door, which for a local show is a lot.
That's awesome.
And like we had a guest list for people that donated $100 or more to our campaign, and people that helped us out through the making of the record.
That's awesome.
That were locals. So our guest list, we had some people on the guest list. So with that and band members and everything, it was like 200 plus people that were there.
That's awesome, man.
And the greatest part about it, as I mentioned, that whole like Facebook thing with like people don't come out, that like aside from that, people came out early, because Lost Horizon shows are on the early side,
right?
And so the doors were at 6, and we did a thing like first 50 people through the door get a digital download code for our album.
Damn.
And I don't even think that mattered, because we posted it like the week of, and people didn't even really know. Like they came through the door and they'd be like, "Oh, cool,
hell yeah,
awesome, man!"
Right.
And that was really it. But people came early regardless.
Mm-hmm.
So people came early to the show. Show started at 7, and most people were there the entire time. You know how a show kind of looks a little bit
always,
empty,
it kind of
and then you get to the end and you're like, "Holy shit, we got paid!" Like, but people came throughout the night,
right?
So people stayed the majority of the time.
Sounds like it was built up all the way up to you guys.
And it was because it was such a good lineup. So
I guess, like, being the musical nerd I am, man, how were you, like, how'd you feel about it musically? Because I just listened to the record today, driving up from the South, and like, it's like I was telling you this earlier, but like it came out so clean, man. It's like, and I know obviously like that's it's a huge undertaking, writing that music, getting it the way you want it to sound, ironing out certain parts between different musicians, and like to hear it, the finished product, polished and everything, and it's like, and for all of what it is, like I couldn't have expected anything better. Honestly, it's the cleanest record, and that speaks. I'm talking about like just in general, like other bands that I hear that like what was like Textures, for example, what we're listening to earlier, like it to me it sits on that level of clarity.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, and it's incredible, and like, yeah, I can't say enough nice things about that, because it really did come out better than anything I've ever could have even thought of. And it's like I'm not bullshitting you either. I'm not like blowing smoke up your ass. Like for somebody who like busts their ass like writing music and like getting it to the way they need it to sound, and as like a producer's role where you want everybody to to kind of have a say, but also to have their things like cleaned up and ready to go, like to have that translate on a record. That's, man, like you must be so proud. But I'm just like, yeah, it's influential, listening to it and knowing that I know these dudes is like my closest friends. It's incredible.
I feel the same way about you and your band, man.
No,
I talk you guys up all the time.
It's a hell of a record.
Actually, Dynamo, I did a playlist. We did our own playlist in between set changes and shit.
Right.
And it was a metal playlist. It was from my bachelor party. So Zach leans over next to me and goes, "This is from your bachelor party, dude?" He goes, "There's not going to be like Carrie Underwood on there, is there?" I'm like,
probably.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But no Carrie Underwood, unfortunately. But a Dynamo track like squeezed its way on there, man. One of the Dynamo tracks. It was awesome hearing like it worked though. Like no one was like, "What the fuck?" Like no, it works.
Perfect.
It works so
Jazz
well
fusion
because
is just what you need.
Yeah, you got the real musicians there, man. They're like, "Fuck yeah, dude." A little bit of Chimera, a little bit of Dynamo, a little bit of Symphony X. Blends right together.
Unhappy family, man. Yeah, thank you.
But yes, dude, it worked out well. We ended up having like I know you like. You listen to the record. Yeah. There's auxiliary shit, so they're like there's a lot. I did a lot more harmonies, and I did so it was kind of scary to put that on the record because I'm like, fuck, now we gotta like we have like some Chicago style harmonies, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta like
get all the BGVs in here, background vocals.
I gotta do it. So for this show in particular, we had Brad DeVore, who is related to York. He's
nice.
His brother-in-law.
Nice.
And he did auxiliary percussion. Mm-hmm. So he did congas and tambo. And he did we have a banjo part on our record.
Yeah.
And that was played by Zach. And so he actually brought in his steel guitar.
Nice.
Because we didn't want to like rent a banjo. And we don't own one. So we didn't want like him to like beat up the guy from Deliverance, the kid, and like get a fucking band because the banjo's in a different tuning. So he was comfortable practicing it on a steel guitar, and he played it out of his steel. And I was like, "Fuck, that sounds awesome, man!
Hell yeah.
Like, just make it really twangy, like turn up the treble, and
probably,
and it would sound great." And that's what he did.
Out. Yeah.
And then we had Cameron Price, obviously doing like all of the. He's on the record, so he did his part, and then he did like. The harmonies and stuff with me, and then his sister Janelle, who she's not involved in any projects or anything, but she's an amazing singer.
That's awesome.
Really, really competent singer. And
I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
man. You never know.
Her pitch, it keeps me on, dude. Like it really does. And both of them, brother and sister, is singing right behind me. It couldn't have been more solid.
That's awesome.
And then we had my wife's brother, Kevin, on the saxophone, who is also on the record. Right. And he crushed.
Hell yeah.
Crushed it. I mean, he's only on stage for like a minute and a half.
Right.
I felt so bad. I want to have him now that I know, like, now that we've set that bar.
Right.
And I told you, I'm like, Kevin, you play this dude. He's like a professional pianist and everything. Like, and he doesn't even really play saxophone anymore. That was his first instrument, and he doesn't even really play it. And he does it for this show and just crushes it. But I told him, I'm like, Kevin, this isn't a fucking concert hall. These people, there's something about metal and saxophone that makes really dirty kids go nuts for this shit. And I'm like, you're going to get screamed at.
Right.
In a good way.
Right.
But you need to ignore it.
Right.
And he's like, okay. And it's like during this soft part, and everyone's like, dude, like trying to get his attention while he's playing.
He's just going
and he tore it up.
Hell yeah.
He tore it up. So we had to shout out to Brett Waltz of the Lost Horizon doing sound for us. We're a local fucking Slipknot, like 9 people on stage, like trying to play progressive metal, and I'm like, okay. So we definitely tipped him. We had to tip him because I'm
rightly
like, this
man. That's
dude.
Brett's the man too. Brett's the man.
We did like a 4:30 sound check, and so he could save our levels. And I don't know, but. It's crazy. Yeah. It was a crazy night.
That's awesome.
crazy fucking night.
It's great to hear.
So serious thank
Deservedly
you.
so, man.
Yeah, serious thank you to all the people who came out for us and for all the other bands and stayed the whole goddamn night.
Right.
I know you weren't obligated to. It was a solid lineup. There were so many good bands. So we really appreciate it, and hopefully we'll be playing something else local in a few months from now, maybe June or whatever.
Yeah.
But you had, before we close up here, you had an announcement for Dynamo.
Oh, yeah,
You wanted to plug
absolutely, yeah. So all this Syracuse talk earlier. So we've been obviously writing new music, and we played a bunch of new tunes at the Dyno, our past tour a couple weeks ago, and we were actually, some people were in attendance that are friends of ours that run like studios, and a couple of them actually work at Subcat Studios right downtown, which is like I would say it's probably the mecca for recording studios in Syracuse. It's got the most facilities, the nicest facilities, and just great staff. Like, everybody there is great. Jeremy Johnston, who I know personally, is a really good friend of mine. He mastered a record that I did with a band a couple years ago called Ley Lines, if anybody remembers. But
crazy good. Crazy good. I've never used the term tech pop punk ever before. But that's what it was.
For take it for what it is, yeah. But anyways, yeah, Jeremy did a great job with that, and just kind of keeping in touch with him and going in there periodically whenever I was in town and see what he's been up to, and he's always playing a new track that's just sounding killing every time. And another guy who I'm real close with, Andrew Greason, is an engineer at More Sound Studios, which I would say is my second home for recording. Subcat has great facilities, obviously, but More Sound kind of feels like home to me. It's essentially in a house, a studio. They basically just took a house and sound reinforcement and renovated it and made it this really warm, like lush sounding studio. And they work tirelessly there all the time, as do the Subcat people. But Andrew's a good friend of mine and a great engineer, and he's going to be part of this album project, as is Jeremy Johnston. So what I'm going to say is Dynamo's recording our third record at Subcat Studios this fall. We'll have dates announced coming up in June. We're going to announce the dates. It's going to be in September, though. And we're going to have audience, we're going to sell tickets for, it's going to be a live recording. We're going to sell tickets and have it kind of be like a show.
Just like the last record.
Yep, the last two.
The
first.
All the records.
We don't know how to do anything else. Yeah, that's the only way we know how to.
Yeah, you
cut
do.
An album.
You know how to do You know how to do it our way, which is fucking stupid. Where we go doink fuck
it's
alone.
Like, it's like undergrad skateboarders or something.
You know what you're doing.
No, but it's
what you're doing is fucking revolutionary.
It's gonna be a lot of fun though. We're gonna be up there. We'll announce the dates in June, but we're gonna be up there in mid-September at Subcat. We're gonna have 8 different shows.
8 different shows,
yep.
And you're gonna take the best
takes
of each
one. Yeah,
show.
We're gonna cut it all live, and whatever one
works.
Whatever one works.
It works.
Yeah.
So
that's the only way we know how to do it.
Where can they find you guys?
Man, we're all over the place. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything. YouTube even.
Do you know the
Dynamo Music is the what do they call it? Hashtags. I'm so behind on.
Fuck hashtags. It's a pound sign.
Pound, yeah. or at Dynamo Music if you're Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah,
Facebook
Twitter,
/
Dynamo Music, Facebook / Dynamo Music.
Okay.
We keep it updated there pretty regularly, so we have all our show dates posted, and also our personal website, dynamo-music.com.
Okay, and you guys are done with your tour, so you're.
Yep, we tour kind of on and off every other week, or every couple of weeks we'll go out and then we'll come back. So this last East Coast run we did was kind of the last week of February and first week and a half of March. We're gonna go back out the end of March, this month. We're going to go up Chicago and then out to Colorado for a week and a half. Our maiden voyage out to Colorado.
Damn, you guys are fucking insane.
So
I wish I could do it.
You say that, but you got to drive through Kansas if you're going to do it, and nobody wants to drive through Kansas unless you enjoy it out there. But yeah, so that's the first thing.
So no shows as of yet.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, what are you saying? No shows
like planned out, like in the area.
Oh no, we'll be back in Syracuse in June.
Okay, so
Yeah.
June. All right.
Be on the lookout for the specific date. We'll announce it.
Be on the lookout. Felty will not get at you, so definitely be on the lookout.
Watch out.
Are we
Looking forward to seeing all my high school friends I haven't talked to in 10 years.
Yeah, they're gonna like
statuses.
this podcast fucking post when I post it, and then they're not gonna come to your show.
Maybe they will. Maybe they will.
Yeah, is that it? Are we good?
Man, I'm all set, man. Thanks so much for having me back, man.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thanks for the last minute join.
Sure.
Show updates for us. Saturday,
please.
March 26th, we'll be in Albany at the Parish Public House with Glass Skeleton Death March, Straight Through Sanity, and Autumn
What
Shroud.
time is that show for my own
For
personal?
you?
Yeah.
Aren't you heading out then?
I'm here until Easter morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking booked this show. I forgot it was Easter, and my family likes to have dinner or whatever. But why am I saying this on here? God damn it. I forgot. Easter was early this year.
Easter's early.
I got to find some eggs with some fucking change in it, dude. That's like... Fuck all those jelly beans.
Right.
I wanted money.
Right, I know.
We're
Still do.
playing. So we're Saturday, March 26th, and it's at the show starts at 9. Doors are at 8.
Sweet.
Music at 9. It's kind of a later show. And this place is Cajun food, man. Gator bites. You can get some like gator nut sacks
baby.
there. Oh, dude, it tastes great.
That's
That's why we booked the show. Not for music.
Dude,
We booked the show for some gator bites.
Everybody loves gator sacks, man.
Some deep fried pickles.
They'll sell that out.
Hell yeah. And then some informal announcements is that Oneana, we have had a stagnant period, but we are finally coming out to Oneana. That show is booked for May 7th. We'll have some more details on that later
Stomping
on.
grounds.
Yeah, old stomping grounds. You know, I got drunk there so much in college that I went there and didn't drink one weekend just to see, and I woke up with a hangover. That's legit, man. Like placebo. So a lesson to me. I got to get drunk every time I go there because either way, I'm feeling like shit in the morning. May 20th through the 22nd. I don't know the day we're playing yet, but this is the Finger Lakes Metal Fest. Last time we did it was 2009. So we're back again, and we're taller now. Not ego-wise. We're actually physically taller now because I don't know if I was going through puberty then or whatever, but I think I still am. We'll have more details on that later on, but that's in Clyde, New York, out towards Rochester. If you're coming from Syracuse, and then June we're going to be in Rutland, Vermont.
Nice.
And this is our first out-of-state show.
Really?
First out-of-state show in 14 years. That's pathetic. Fucking pathetic.
Or maybe
you guys take a week off from touring and then you go to tour. I'm like, we got a gig out of state. Oh, they're gonna give us maple syrup. I'm so excited. But yeah, that's gonna be in our rider.
Hell yeah.
We're gonna demand genuine maple syrup.
3 gallons.
Yeah. So that's what we got. Like check back in for the show details. That's the RIFFCAST. Music and merch can be purchased at spiremetal.bandcamp.com.
Get the new record.
Yeah.
Get the new Spire record.
There you go. He's saying it. He's in a great band, so it must be legit. Questions or comments, please email us at spirenymetal@gmail.com for bonus material from these conversations and more updates on what we have going on. You can join our mailing list by going to spire.fanbridge.com. Thanks for listening, and see you at the Spire and Dynamo shows. Oh, shit, dude. Fuck, I forgot.
P.S.
Yeah, P.S. This is what the alphabet would look like if Q and R were eliminated. Sorry, that's a Mitch Hedberg joke. But, yeah, dude, I want to play a song on here at the end. We've been doing that shit, so I want to play one of your songs, and we mentioned Pride and what you guys did with it. Is that cool if we play Pride?
Cue it up, man.
I fucking love that song.
Yeah.
So we're gonna play Pride from Dynamo, and then we're gonna close out with a track from the record. What track do you want to hear from the record?
It exists.
Exist?
Yeah.
All right, we'll play Exist from the record.
Exist.
All right. Take care, everybody.
Frozen in time, your charm vanquished mine. Faith overcame, yeah. We are the same. That life we knew, that life is through. It's me and you, like trust accrue. Love so divine, we're intertwined. What's yours is mine, as one divine. As one divine. Ooh, don't ever let me go. I just wanna let you know you're I give you my all, like a stone of hope into your now, devoted vow. That life we knew, that life is through. It's me and you, that trust accrue. Love so divine, we're intertwined. What's yours is mine, as one divine. As one divine. Ooh, don't ever let me go, my bride. life is through is me and you. Let trust accrue. Love so divine, we're intertwined. What's yours is mine, as one divine. As one divine. Exist right now. Exist right here. Opens the heart of the existentialist. From time to time, these outlets, they